This video talks about how to replace your TPI oil pump for any 2019 or newer KTM Husqvarna or GasGas. So talking about tools that you'll need, the dog is not one of them. First is an 8mm wrench, ideally one with a closed end. Then you will need needle nose pliers, and then you'll need bonus points. If you have it, you won't need it, I guess, but bonus points is a socket wrench with a pivot head and an 8mm socket on it. Also, you're going to want some rags. Unless you drain the oil container for the TPIs, you're just going to get oil kind of everywhere. You won't lose a ton, you'll lose a little bit. Just put some rags down and you'll be fine. First step is to remove your exhaust header. So however you want to do that, go ahead and get that removed. And then you can actually begin working on the oil pump itself. So this is the oil pump. This is what it looks like. This piece will connect into the oil reservoir. This is an electrical connector that sticks out on the other side of the bike, opposite of the kickstart, and a little hose. So step 2 is going to be to remove a connector that's attached to this guy, and for that we got to go to the other side of the bike. Working around to the other side of the bike, you're going to be looking for a blue electrical connector that looks like this. It'll be attached in kind of like so, and in order to get this guy out, what you want to do is grab it with your fingers, kind of like so, and then with your thumb depress these little detents right here. You can see that those move down, and then just pull right out, and that'll be disconnected. Next is working on that long hose that you saw on the oil pump. So that long hose is going to be attached right here. For me, I needed to work on this little spring clasp and slide it back on the hose a little bit. This plug will not be here. This is just a plug that comes on the new pump from the factory, so don't worry about that. But once you do that, you'll be able to pull this little hose right off of the brass piece there. Next, you're going to be working on this 8mm bolt here. So this is best done by getting your fingers in here and pushing down on your throttle cable. And once you're able to do that, you can grab your 8mm box end wrench and begin turning it towards the back of the bike to loosen it. You're going to want to use this first because you're not going to have room for this pivot joint. It's going to be slow going. It's about 1/8 of a turn at a time with the regular wrench, but once you get a little bit of free play in your pump, kind of like this, you're able to get that pivot joint in there and loosen that bolt. Once that bolt loosens up, the pump itself will actually come out pretty easily. I didn't need to worry about the little spring clasp next to my finger. I was able to just pull the pump right out. And in order to actually switch these out, you're gonna wanna do this kind of Indiana Jones style. So you're gonna pull out the pump that's already in there, and then very quickly with the other hand, you're gonna plug up the hole with your new pump. And that's kind of the most stressful part. You just wanna do that as quick as you can. As you can see, I got a little bit of oil, no big deal. You know, spilt oil is nothing to cry over, so it'll be fine. But once it's all plugged up, you just begin doing everything kind of in reverse. Begin working on that 8mm bolt, then attach this back in to the brass piece that you'll see there, and then you can reattach the blue electrical connector that you see sitting over there. Recommend using dielectric grease on that. So that covers it. Hopefully this gave you guys a little bit more detail than some of the other videos do. A lot of them are just kind of poor camera angles. In my opinion, you can't really see what fingers are doing. So hopefully this helped you guys out. Thanks and good luck. And a few more tips before you begin the repriming process for your TPI oil pump. So to find the plug, which is gonna look kind of like this, you may have to take the airbox cover off because it could be dangling in there. But more than likely it'll be underneath your seat, so pull that off. Most, I think, have it in front of the battery, but if your bike is like mine, it was underneath the bike's computer, and I had to undo these little rubber tabs in order to pry this up and fish this out of here. But to get the protective cover off, it can be a pain if you're not paying attention. I've got these pre-separated. The only tab that you really need to worry about is the one right above my thumb right here. All you got to do is push up on that with a finger or a flathead and pull it off. Don't worry about the tabs like this on the side or on top. They're kind of there to fool you. Just worry about getting this one pushed up and pulling it off. And then you'll be set to do your repriming process and you'll be on your way. See you.